Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 doing something a little bit silly. You see, a little while ago I did a car chase. We did have a baby driver replica car chase on here in which I basically effectively disconnected the brakes to force me to kind of drive a bit dramatically around Edinburgh. Thing is, we have done racing like this a very, very long time ago, but we haven't done it for ages and thought we'd have a go on Horizon 4. I just about managed to make it work with the Subaru, so what if we were to try and go race with something like this Porsche? Now, when I say disconnect the brakes, I mean there is no braking force with the car. I can actually show you. I'm hoping it's going to do it in this particular area. Do it in a different house. There we go. Basically, you take the brakes, you put race brakes on the car, which we have got here, and then in the tuning menu, you remove all of the brake pressure. You put the brake pressure at 0, and that means, apparently it fixes the car wandering if you actually, either way, you have the brake pressure at 0, and that means the car physically doesn't brake when you use the brakes. You have to use the handbrake to slow the car down, and maybe a little bit of engine braking along the way as well. It is not impossible to race like that, but it is very difficult. So, here we are for our first race with the brakeless cars. We have come to the Broadway Village circuit. I don't want to start second, I wanted to start at the back. Actually, I don't even know where I want to start. I'm not sure where is a good place to be starting in this one, but we are a long way back, a long way forward, sorry, which means if something happens behind, we're going to probably get hit. It's going to be interesting. That is for sure. This will be the most I ever use a handbrake in a Forza game ever, because that is what, we've been held on the grid as well. That is what I'm going to be using to slow the car down. I mean, it's a hideous looking car, so I don't mind if we hit a wall a little bit. But, yeah, we're going to go for an early... of course, we forgot, we're in ghost mode, so I missed a checkpoint. We are in ghost mode to start things off, so we won't get murdered at the first corner. Probably for the best, that, really. Now, the Cayman is stock, barring, of course, that body kit and the brake pressure being removed. It's a pretty quick car. Ooh, there's a sneaky there's a sneaky tactic that I'm not going to use because it's cheating, really. We said we're not allowed to wall ride intentionally. There is going to be some bumping, mainly when cars behind don't stop. We're not allowed to wall ride intentionally to get around corners. We're not allowed to spam it down to first at 140 miles an hour and what would blow the engine to bits. However, I did have a think. If you were to hit the breakable walls, you might be able to use that to slow down a bit, because they really do kill you momentum, but I feel like that is slightly not in the spirit of what we were doing. That's too late. That was very, very late. Oh dear. Well, I mean, we made it through quite well, in all honesty. I did try to pick a track that had less walls to get cars caught on, and I think I goofed. This was not the track for that. I actually got stopped really well into turn 1. Everyone else didn't, but I did. We've got Ninetales all over the back of us, looking for a way past. No, that was... Okay, I didn't want to hit that wall. Did not mean to hit that wall, did not want to hit that wall. We hit that wall, though, and that's actually... Oh, Gliska hit something. I don't actually know what Gliska managed to hit through there. Uh-oh. I'm going to do what Ninetales did. She's going to back it into the wall through there. Not clever. See, we're losing time doing that. That was not the line. I was just too late on the brakes. I mean, this is a surprisingly close race, considering what we are doing. No one has any brakes. You will see brake lights going on. They don't do anything. I can stick mine on here. I say for confirmation, the brakes do nothing. Everyone is using my tune for the car. You do not. Oh, there's some lag going on up ahead. Oh, I'm going to get help into turn 1. Ninetales got that corner lovely and will take the lead. I was going to struggle to make turn 1. Ewan didn't help me through that one. Ninetales has got to the lead. Ninetales was looking fast with these cars. That might be a difficult one to catch back. Ninetales always looking fast, let's be honest. Let's avoid the wall this time around. We are a little bit wider, and that will be good for us. Oh, see, I'm going to try and get slowed down sooner here. Someone's abusing the engine a little bit there. In fact, me and Impega got very nicely through that corner. I'm using my handbrake as an ABS currently. I'm just manically spamming the handbrake to get my car slowed down. Impega's definitely doing some engine braking. Now, game sounds when we do this do sometimes get confused. We've seen this in previous Forza games. We ask it to do something weird it's really not expecting. This it tends not to expect quite as much. There we go. Oh, we're getting the hang of it. We're getting the hang of it. A little bit, at least. We are pulling away now from Gliska in third. We're all jumping that. Ninetales hits the wall, Impega hits the wall. But Impega is closing a little bit now. If them two fight each other too much, there might be a chance for me. I don't think I quite have their pace. Or as much of their pace here. Ninetales is really chucking in there, but I did exactly the same because I overdrove. Bloody hell. The margins are so tiny here. The margins between getting it stopped and making good corner speed are so tiny. Like, more, in a weird way, it's almost smaller than a normal race. In a weird way, it's almost Ninetales is the brakes on. It's almost smaller margin for error with it. I guess it kind of makes sense. We're going to go for an earlier stop down here. Oh, Ninetales has got it nicely. Damn it. Impega was quite wonky through that first quarter. We've caught back up again a little bit here. It's not going to be enough. I need a miracle right about now and an amazing final couple of corners if we're going to get anything more than, well, second at a push, really. Now, this has been the corner that's caught everyone out through here. I'm just going to try and slow it down nice and early here. Try and find some grip. Went pretty well. Ninetales is actually reeling back in the leader. We might have a change on the final corner. Maybe they'll bounce each other into a wall. I can but hope, because I've got nothing to give back here. Sadly, we are too far back. I actually get a fairly good final corner. We're closing a little bit. Oh, it's not enough. I get third. We're up there, though. We're up there at the front. Interesting race. Surprisingly close race, actually. All things considered, that one. Fastest lap will go to Impega. Not quite as good, but we were much faster than the rest of the field. The three of us figured out what we were doing. We found our systems. What a weird but surprisingly exciting event. Let's hope I can go one better next time. So, we move on to the second race. Now, this is going to be tough. You see, while Broadway is a relatively small track and the corners are relatively kind, Lakehurst, this isn't. Especially turn 1-2 chicane. That is going to be problematic. Cars are going to miss checkpoints there. That is almost for sure. You're really going to have to get your braking right into that section. There are some fast corners around the back of the circuit as well. See, well, Broadway, okay, turn 1's a pretty big stop. Everywhere else isn't too bad. But here we're going to have 2 or 3 pretty big stops in the lap. So yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know whether this car will be flat out around the kink on the back straight. That will also be tough, because if you're trying to slow down for that corner, yeah, because you'll be ripping the handbrake trying to slow down for that corner, and you don't want to be sliding badly into there. Yeah, who knows? We will see how this goes. I'm just going to take it a little bit easy on lap 1. I don't really want to do anything too stupid. Probably wasn't the best idea. Ninetales with that controller disconnect there. That was in a pause menu. Just see the car go straight. Or it might have been a rewind, actually, for a missed checkpoint. Ignore me. That's Ninetales down the back, and Impega has also had a bad start. So, it's everything to play for here if I can get stuff right, but I do have a lot of cars to try and fight my way through. This is the corner that I was a little concerned about. Are we going to be flat through here? Maybe a lift is all we need. We'll get past 2 cars in one go as Blakey and Ewan got into trouble. This is the big, tough braking zone. Now, there is a wall if things go wrong, but you're quicker if you don't end up in the wall. We are through all of that quite nicely. Tap the brakes, tap the handbrake if you like, through there. I've not really ran in traffic too much after the start of last race where we're all bumping into one another. So this is going to be a new experience a little bit. Where do we brake for turn 1? I don't have a car behind me, which is good. Which means if I want to brake a bit early, I'm not going to get rear-ended. That looked like a weird laggy ping for somebody. There's a little bit of lag going on. Hello, Leather. I do apologise. A little bit of pushing went on, but that was mostly because I didn't know where you were. Got a little bit of lag. Occurring. We'll get up the inside, though, through there. That puts me onto a podium spot again. Right. Offensively green car may or may not be somewhere ahead of us. We should be flat all the way down here. I don't know who's going to want to... Who's going to try different lines potentially up here. I suspect no one's going to want to go handbrake after that last time. I will just have a little bit of a lift. Scotty loses the back end. I don't know where Scotty's car is. Oh, I'm sorry if I assisted you in that one. Oh, now I am assisting you into the wall. I would have let you go had I overtaken you. In the end, we didn't actually overtake regardless, so that's a bit my bad through there. Not what I was intending on doing. Scotty's got very sideways. I put it down one too many gears, like an idiot. We may get this pass done on the outside. Well, it'll be inside through here. There's not much space. Oh, Leathercap's going to get both of us if we're not careful. Indeed, Leathercap clears us up into third. Chris is running away at the front of the field. We need to stop fighting like this over second. I'm going to be a little careful on the brakes down towards turn 1 here. Mainly because I'm seeing the mess going on ahead of me and I want to be able to duck out of the way. We get a position through all of that by being a bit careful. Sometimes that's just what you've got to do. Oh, Leathercat wants to get back up the inside. Sorry, I didn't realise they were going for that gap. I would have given more space. We both made the checkpoint, and that's what matters at the end of the day. We both made the checkpoint. Right, let's go chase after Scotty. Now, Ninetales and Impega are on the climb through the field. Damn it, we had a pretty good chance at a win. We've kind of just got marred in traffic. I think part of the reason why me and Impega and Ninetales were quite as quick as we were at that first race is we were just in clean air, and that is so helpful around these circuits if you can run in clean air. We've had that corner was spot on. That was absolutely perfect for us. Little lift through here, don't need the handbrake. We again get a mega run. That's where I'm so fast. It's so difficult to get a pass done though. Scotty does not want to give us much space through there. We keep the nose alongside. Oh, Leathercat may have missed a checkpoint or missed a corner somewhere. Has fallen back. It's us two now for second place. Or do we have a big go into turn 1? Oh, I'm turning the wrong way into turn 1. That was the issue we were always going to have if you get it wrong. If I'd had that car facing the right way, I would have been fine. Like the speed was okay, but I'd had the wheels locked and I was just turning away from the corner. We clobber the wall and that's me in trouble now. I know I'm good at one corner, but we are more likely to come under threat from the car behind than we are from attacking the car ahead of us. We might have to be defensive on this lap. Right, little lift through here, just settle the car. Try not to oversteer too much through there. Gliska's out in the weeds a little bit. This is where we've got to really work at getting the car slowed down. We get it slowed nicely, very nicely once more through there. If I could keep a lap together, it would be great. I just can't make it. I haven't made it stick long enough together. We are again quick. We were closing on the leader a bit. We've made almost 3/4 of a second in these couple of corners. I think maybe almost a second through that latter half of the lap, but I lose so much early on. It's too little. Too late. Chris will win. Scotty takes second. I get another podium. Two out of 2 for podiums is good. Might have the best overall average finishing position. Fastest lap would go to Impega. Monstrously fast, but down the order. Ninetales also quick. Yeah, if I could have got my lap together, I think I could have been maybe in the low 1 minute 8s. But I don't think I could have done 1 minute 8, sorry, 1 minute 11. I think I could have done 1 minute 10. Little bit outside of my skill, I think, there. So, for our final race with these weird little cars, we have come to the Bamburgh Coast circuit, where I'm hoping I might do better than third. I'd like a win. I would like a win, but we will see how things go. We start in 6th, we're starting very much mid-pack. This should be another interesting track, actually. There's a couple of big braking zones, there's a couple of nasty corners. If you get it right into turn 1, you're going to make a lot of lap time. If you get it wrong, you're going to be in trouble. It's not even... some of the back corners might be a problem as well. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. It's been some pretty damn close racing, actually. Again, you've got to bear in mind here, yes, if we went for a one-make race with the Cayman GTS that we have here, I'm sure we would have a very good race because, well, us lot are fairly similarly skilled. We generally have a good close race. This is not a normal car that we are driving here in any way, shape or form. This is so far away from normal. This should not work in the slightest. And yet here we are having some really very, very close races with them, which is nice to see. Nice to see having some good battles. I think that might have been a bit late on the brakes. Longbow was very early on them. Speedies did not get that one right. Me and Ninetales got it right, but we got hampered by cars behind not getting it right through there, which is one of the downsides that goes on. Oh, I thought Ninetales had missed a checkpoint. Nope, that's just a little bit of the jitters for that car. We get a good run under the start-finish straight, but this is the first time heading into turn 1, and nobody knows where to brake. I am going to brake very early here on the old slow down because I want to make sure we can get through here cleanly. As me and Ninetales will swap sides and swap positions. We had a little bit of a bump from behind as cars are taking perhaps a little bit more bravery. We can take a lot of speed actually through there. It's here. This is a deceptive corner. Slow down. Oh, Cayman. We get some assistance through that one. God damn. For some reason I seem to be better at Broadway than I am at these. Impega's gone in this one. Impega running off into the distance. Leathercap up in second. Longbow hasn't had a good time so far. That was too late. That was too late on the brakes, was it? It was too late on the brakes to be quick. We still stopped it before we hit the wall. Well, we might not get third this time. We might just be further back. I think further back may be where we end up in this one. Sadly, typically I said we had good racing, and this one here looks like we might be in a little bit more of no man's land than we have been in previous ones. We'll have to wait and see. It's already spreading out a bit at the front. Do we brake about here for this one? Yeah, that kind of works. The handbrake is... I mean, let's say the handbrake, like the weird just locking up of the brakes, does seem to be working on the most part. We're getting it slowed down enough for these corners that we're able to take a vaguely sensible line. Oh, Ninetales is in the fence through there. I'm going to follow only a little bit. Okay, Chris was slower through there as well. Yeah, we are keeping pace a little bit with the cars ahead. 6.8 seconds, quite a lot of time in these laps. Right, big stop. Ninetales has left way too late, asked way too much of that car in the braking zone. Oh, come on, find some grip in the car. It's a nice car to drive, this, in general. It's a nice, fun, sporty car to drive, aside from what we've done. I think that's part of the reason why it's not as bad as it could be. Because, yeah, sure, we're going 130 miles an hour, but at least there is quite a lot of grip when we get to the corner, so we don't need to shrug off as much speed as you might think. Even though these are some pretty big, nasty braking zones, this is all tightening up here for second, you know. We had a couple of laps of calm. I wonder if I can get away with just a lift. Ninetales, I'm pretty sure, was doing the same thing through there, as we both had almost the same little off. I went to grab the brakes. You may see the brake lights flick on from time to time. It's just instinct. It's that instinct, that momentary, things are going wrong. What do I do? Oh yeah, I grab the brakes. But it's not going to help here. It literally does nothing, as you can see on Ninetales' car there. It literally doesn't do a damn thing to slow these down. Leathercap's had a big mistake. Ninetales has had an even bigger one into the corner. Ninetales is gone. I mean, there might be a podium on now for me. Potentially, we have to find a way past Longbow in a lap. Maybe Leathercap if something happens. Impega's won, barring a controller disconnect, pretty much, or a missed checkpoint. We can forget about Impega in this one. This is for a podium spot. Can we go for 3 for 3 in terms of third positions? We're trying to get up the inside into turn 1. I'm not quite there, or I'm not quite brave enough. I could have maybe let off the handbrake a little sooner. Leathercap was slow, though, through all of that. Will Longbow look for a way to second? Could that be my opportunity to get both of them? We will have to wait and see. Leathercap's in lots of trouble through here. That was a very, very sideways police machine. They've bumped doors. Where are we going to come out in all of this? I don't know. We've got the best line, but nowhere to go with it. We're alongside Longbow now as we do the drag race up the hill. Do you brake early here? Do you brake late? Longbow's going for an early brake. Longbow's going for an early brake to try and get turned into the corner. Get through here smoothly. The problem is, I'm in the way now. We block Longbow in through all of that. Leathercap gets a slide on the exit. We're in identical cars here. There is nothing more I can do. Do we have a good enough run to get second? I don't want another third place. No, there is some bumping. It's not going to be enough. No! Oh, we got third. Good race. Good race. Impega was in an entirely another league with that car. Look at the lap times between me, Leathercap, Longbow, Scotty. Ninetales fell to 11th. Must have missed a checkpoint in that speed. In fact, Ninetales was 0.02 of a second faster than me around there. Bloody hell. Well done, Impega, for managing to get that speed. I had no idea how you were doing that one. We had an absolutely mad race. 3 podiums for me, very nearly a second. Turns out, taking out the brakes of the Cayman GTS, while a very, very dumb idea, does still give us some quite exciting racing. Who would have thought that? Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.